Okay. Gonna go plug this. Yeah. Matt's chillin', so I'll invite him. Okay, everyone. So I don't know if anyone's actually here. Probably not. You never know. Alright. I'll be waiting a few more minutes to start the stream. I want to see if I can get in these next 2 sets. Kinda depends on if both sides of Losers Quarters finish. If not, I will just bring them in later. Also, let me know if my volume's messed up. I think it's fine. It should still be fine from last week. Or the other day, rather. But, yeah. I tend to get a little bit paranoid about my volume settings, so if anyone wants to comment on them and tell me to fix them... Alright, wonderful. That is good to hear. Okay. Alright. I'll probably be waiting for this one set. Or, well... I guess I'm actually more so just waiting for people to come in. Make sure we got at least a couple people hanging out. Okay. It's very difficult not to just be like, let's just start now. Because I could start now. And no one can stop me. Ooh. So much power. Alright. Got more replays. So hopefully this stream will be a little bit closer to what I did the other night for Cyber Circle, as opposed to my normal inter-bracket streams. I definitely need to try to take a bit more of a VOD review-y approach to this. To make sure things don't end up too shaky. Alright, so I gotta do both sides of that anyway. And yeah, okay, that makes some sense. So, I think... No, I don't want you to do that. I think I'm gonna start... now. Yeah, I'll start now. Why not? I'll probably have to put in replays after only 2 sets. But that is a-okay. Actually, should be another minute. Okay, so yeah, I guess I will start now. Okay, so we're going to be starting, of course, with winner semis. It's top 6, and not much of a choice on that. And we have Erase Me versus DomoNatorr. So as far as Orcane versus Shovel Knight goes, this is a matchup where Orcane can really easily play Limb and kind of wall out Shovel Knight with some disjoints that can kind of rival Shovel Knights, but mostly just bubbles and the fact that Orcane can control the ground. You know, it can make it hard for Shovel Knight to approach. once Shovel Knight gets a hold of relics, and especially Momentum Mail, things can really swing in his favor. Which kind of makes sense. A lot of Shovel Knight matchups are definitely like that, dependent on how quickly he can get the snowball rolling. But yeah, we're gonna see if Domo can pull that off, or if Erase Me can sort of hold him at bay. Okay. So right out the gate, I'm inclined to say that Domo might be a little bit too aggressive, but this hasn't been too bad so far. He's got a nice string going. Okay. And, okay, that was a huge missed edgeguard opportunity from Erase Me right there. Shovel Knight isn't super weak to bubbles at ledge, but it's still a ledge trap that's pretty universal. You can get just about everyone except, like, Eliana with it. Maybe Raster. So it's definitely something you want to abuse against Shovel Knight. And right there, alright, Erase Me figuring out his mistake there. Alright, that's actually a good edgeguard option from DomoNatorr. Because of the way that Arcane Side B works, Downstrong should be able to challenge that pretty safely because of the lingering hitbox. Okay. For that combo right there, you don't really ever need to worry about comboing into strong attacks with Shovel Knight, like at this percent. Out of Nair, you're generally going to try to just keep getting more Nairs. Although occasionally you can try to sneak in an up tilt. Let's see, and DomoNatorr finally managing to buy something. Something to remember with Shovel Knight is you have macros for your shop. So instead of scrolling over to the item, it's best to learn what your right stick positions are to insta-buy the items. For mobile gear, it's up. They did just change it, but if you didn't learn it before, it's actually kind of probably easier to learn now. Because you don't have to rewire your brain. That was an interesting option. I feel like Erase Me has been kind of approaching Domo in a really weird way. Kind of throwing out a lot of side B and dash attack. As Arcane, you can kind of rely heavily on wave dash down tilt. And wave dash down tilt if you want to approach, and bubbles if you don't want to approach. Back air is your alternate option for walling out people. Dash attack isn't a bad burst option, but side B kind of is. It's not something you should really be busting out in neutral, like, ever, more or less. Because it's incredibly laggy, fairly reactable, and pretty punishable if you know that you can beat it out with some kind of lingering hitbox, which DomoNatorr seems to know. So Erase Me is going to have to figure out a way to sort of break that habit. If DomoNatorr can continue to exploit it properly. Jumping into game 2, we got Aramata, which I think is a pretty good pick. This is definitely a weird stage, because most characters, their recovery gets pretty hard nerfed here. I do think it's a decent pick overall, though. Arcane's going to be getting a decent amount of kills off the top, with down tilt, up strong, and up air. Hello, Organ. Ooh, wow. That was some unfortunate DI right there. I'm kind of tempted to go back and rewatch it, but... And, Erase Me's definitely playing a bit scared right now. I'm seeing a lot of rolls coming out, just kind of rolling back and forth and trying to keep pace with DomoNatorr. There's a wave dash. I was about to say, something that I'm expecting to notice a lot here, if Cyber Circle is any indication, is that players at this level don't really utilize wave dash well enough. Which is, in my opinion, one of the more like fundamental skills you should be trying to get down right away, because wave dashing opens up so many opportunities for you. Okay, DomoNatorr getting gear again. I think gear is pretty good in this matchup. I'd say the tier list for items is definitely gloves at the top, then gear. Actually, I'm inclined to say gloves, then gear, then horn. But at this point, with the gloves nerf, gear might be higher up. Ooh, nice catch right there. Definitely the Sage coming into play, Erase Me getting a kill off the top. Right, Shovel Knight can get kills off the top, but he's a lot more inconsistent with how he gets kills. You have to be more scared about what he's going to do off the sides, which, to be fair, Aramata lets him do as well. Erase me. Kind of just jumping at him right there. Another tool in Orcane's kit that I don't really think Erase Me has been taking good enough advantage of is Nair. Right, if you are going to be kind of running or jumping at him, learning how to use neutral air and Nair bounce, which admittedly is something I don't think you should worry about right now. See right there, that was pretty good. Learning how to utilize Nair and Nair bounce especially can definitely add a ton of layers to your kit. Do I recommend you do that before picking up other basic skills like Wave Dash? Not particularly, but it is something to keep in mind. And so I actually saw something right there that might help to point out, because I don't think Erase Me has been taking advantage of it at all. And that's that Arcane has some of the best air stalling in the game. If you use down B, whether or not you have a puddle up, you will always stall in the air. So right there, what I think Erase Me was going for with that teleport was trying to make sure he doesn't, like, fall into Domo's up strong. But probably would have been better would have been to just, like, pop bubbles and then try to drift back. And if you wanted to, you could even, like, drop bubbles and then drop another droplet, right? There's not really any type of timer on that. So trying to keep those stalling options in mind can kind of strengthen your disadvantage and make it harder for players to approach you in the air. Something that I know at Shovel Knight that I have to consider is when Orcane's super high up, I like to chase him with up air, but only if I can count on him not dropping a droplet. If he can do that, I have to be a lot more careful at how I approach him. So if you can kind of abuse the fact that Shovel Knight can't really vertically approach Orcane with that threat, you'll have a much easier time getting out of disadvantage. I don't think I updated the score. I should probably update the score. And for game 3, we're going to be going to Fire Cap, which I think is a pretty good pick. But only if Erase Me can take advantage of playing slow here. Right? Overall, this is a stage that I think is probably somewhat neutral, but because Orcane has slightly better runaway potential, until someone gets Relics anyway, I think this pick can work reasonably well. Alright, I want to see. I probably should mention that. Alright, ooh, nice little string right there. So definitely with Orcane, right? It's important to understand how you can follow up down tilt, especially because you can start combos with jab down tilt, guaranteed, or simply just wave dash down tilt with the disjoint. Knowing the best ways to combo out of that move will make your punish game as Orcane way stronger. And nice catch with the puddle left strong. Good catch. Definitely one of those situations, right? Puddle strong attacks have a ton of versatility just between all three of them. Alright, not a bad punish. You probably could have gotten more out of a down tilt combo right there, right? At low percents, it's generally better to go for a combo starter. That was a good read. And right now, DomoNatorr's really struggling to get anything going. Probably should have popped bubbles at ledge there, but if it works, it works. Well, actually it didn't really work, but yeah. It's certainly not the only option, it's just your strongest and the safest one. Okay, so DomoNatorr's got gear right now. This is definitely a good gear stage, in my personal opinion anyway. I didn't really like gear on like longer, wider stages with more platforms. So the platform structure here isn't perfect for gear, but it's workable enough. I definitely think gear is pretty strong on the stage. Ah, that was a pretty sus roll. Something I really want to notice now is to point out some of the flaws in DomoNatorr's recovery. If he gets in another recovery situation, I want to see if I can help him out on that front. I haven't been paying too close attention to him so far. Alright, decent catch on the air dodge there. I like the use of gear to try to shut down the ways that Orcane can get back on stage. I think that's a pretty good option. Slight misinput on gear right there. Charging strong attacks at ledge is a no-no. Against Orcane specifically, there is a reasonable reason to do down strong, because you can cover like a few different side B options, so you can hard read side B, but that's the only reason I would do it. Fat thumb the taunt, I'm guessing? Or that's just like massive mental mind games. So right there, I'm wondering if you actually could have turked him to hit him with the up special. Definitely would have been a weird option, but I think that would have worked there. That's one of those things that, again, it kind of requires some awareness. Maybe I didn't see it right. But I kind of thought you could have catch him. Oh, the taunt was on purpose, so you're mind gaming him, I guess. So... oh... So I feel like DomoNatorr is not entirely using gear right. I think he's got the general idea down, right? Where he is approaching with gear. He's just doing it in a very sort of stiff way. Another use of gear is to throw it on the platforms and let gear control the platform and then you control the stage, or vice versa. You let gear control the platform as you control the stage. Did I have it? Whatever. You can basically have you or gear on the platform and then the other on the main stage, right? Another way to use gear, but of course, like what you're doing, which is just kind of throwing it down and then following it, it isn't bad. I just think you're not getting enough hits off of it. Because you can get a ton of damage off of gear if you know how to use it. A lot of the times, I actually like to hit people with up tilt out of gear, and that puts them in a juggle situation where I can keep following up with back air, up air. In general, I feel like you haven't really been using back air, up air to its fullest potential yet. So if you want to try to incorporate that and rack up some more damage, that's definitely a good way to do so, because those are two of Shovel Knight's strongest combo tools. Going into game 3, we're going to Spirit Tree, which I think is a slightly odd choice for a Shovel Knight to go to. Side plats usually help characters with recoveries, right? Like, pretty much across the board. And the thing is, Shovel Knight has one of the best recoveries in the game already. So the side plats are just going to benefit other characters more than you. Kind of just straight up. At least that's the way that I'd feel about it. You also haven't been getting a lot of vertical kills so far. So, because of that, right, Orcane's actually kind of going to have the advantage on the stage, or at least the way that you're playing it. Because Orcane's a lot more likely to go for vertical kills than Shovel Knight, generally speaking. Good reaction on Puddle. Okay. So, Erase Me, something I'm noticing as a sort of end. Okay. Actually, I want to talk about DomoNatorr's recovery real quick. That wasn't a bad option. The fact that you're using air dodge at all is definitely good. Something that I think is worth learning as soon as possible is how to up air recover, right? So instead of doing wall jump air dodge, do wall jump up air. And that probably could have landed you on the platform. Good catch right there. But yeah, up air gives you a ton of height if you do it right after you start rising. Are you talking about my galaxy effect? It's Igus from Persona 3, which he's a toaster. And it happens every time someone gets a guaranteed kill. Oh, but yeah. Yeah, so I like DomoNatorr's use of, like air dodge side B isn't bad. Up air side B is better, in my opinion. Because up air doesn't use up the resource of side B. I mean, air dodge. But I can't talk. Yeah. Air dodge is a resource that you want to conserve while recovering. So doing up air instead will kind of conserve that resource. As far as the Erase Me's recovery goes, I think it's been okay so far. You have been getting caught by a lot of Domo's smash attacks, though. And I think a lot of that is a side effect of the fact that you're mostly just kind of doing side B in. I mean, rather side B out, right? You're going for mostly full distance side Bs. So you've got to get better at either mixing up how far you go with the side B, or figure out how to use your other recovery options. Stuff like wall jump back air. I think wall jump back air is the easiest thing you can incorporate, or just flat out wave landing on stage. Try to figure out the feel for those mix-ups, and your recovery will be a lot safer, because like side B is a good option for extra distance, but it's a lot less safe because you can get hit out of it during the, I guess sort of, technically the startup of the move. You can get hit out of the startup, and you can people can kind of react to it depending on the height. So a general thing is that Orcanes will kind of side B into the wall, and then wall jump and back air on the stage, right? That's something that I think is a pretty good recovery tactic to get used to early on, because it's not super complicated. Okay, though, so that's going to be all for our first set. Next up, we're going to be going to the other side of Winter Semis with Coolthulu versus bitofabyte. That's not how you spell Coolthulu. Coolthulu. Okay. And so Vit plays Ori. I'm gonna go with that. Thulu. No, wait. He's playing Force. That's probably close enough to what the color schemes are, right? Yeah, that's probably close enough. Okay. Yeah, I mean, erase me. That's like the main thing, right? If you can learn from these sets, that's really all you can ask for. And that way you can do better next time, and just kind of, you know, keep on the grind. Now, as far as this matchup goes, these are two characters that I'll admit are a little lower on the spectrum of characters that I know things about. My inclination is to say that Ori is going to be able to sort of run circles around Force, unless Coolthulu knows platform movement. If he can use platforms properly, this can be a really fast-paced matchup. Both characters can kind of blow each other up. Ori's edgeguarding is insane, and even though Force Recovery just got a buff, it's still somewhat exploitable. It's one of the more exploitable recoveries, more than likely. So what I see happening here is bitofabyte has to really abuse Coolthulu off stage, and Coolthulu has to abuse Bit at the ledge and try to take Ori stocks as soon as possible with clutch down airs and back airs. So we're gonna see who can kind of abuse one or the other harder in this situation. Coolthulu. Everyone getting hyped for Coolthulu right now. I respect it. Cthulhu's cool as a lad. I like him. He's just a homie, you know? Okay, so far, he's having a really hard time getting off the plat right now, just kind of getting pressured by Bit. Ultimately, though, if he's going to keep going for up air, right, you can... Like, normally I don't want to give the advice to just parry in this stream, but in that specific situation, when he's literally doing the same offensive option every time, it's the most viable option you've kind of got. Alright. Not a bad catch with the down strong right there. And yeah, teleporting right into where the up strong is going to be. To be honest, in that situation, I feel like you probably could have landed with just drifting forward and using Nair. Right? That would have put you on stage, and you wouldn't have to worry about the massive teleport end lag. So if I were in that situation, that's probably what I would have tried to go for. Or at the very least, what I think you should have gone for. I'll admit my smooth brain might have gone for teleport down, so... Force is one of my worst characters, so... Again, I'm doing the best I can here, but I will admit this is a character that's a little hard for me to give good advice on. And bitofabyte once again getting the catch with Team Up Strong. That's just something that happens if Force has a hard time like landing on stage without up B. He can just get exploited so hard because of the insane end lag on teleport. Trying to hit the combo right there. So I like Cthulhu's use of Cape right now, kind of seeing like, alright, Bit's running at me, I should be able to stop him with Cape. Alright, slipping past with the clone right there. Good use of clone. Alright, that was good. So bitofabyte. Something to remember about Force Recovery is that any little bit of smoke that he has is a vital resource tool for him. So if there's any smoke laying around, you've got to make yourself clear it, because that right there is functionally your Force edgeguard. So far you've done it... Well, to be fair, I feel like Cthulhu hasn't been using smoke to recover properly for the most part. That's one of the first time I've seen him do it. But if he goes for it later on, right, I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to slip kind of past with that. And no, Core, there's probably going to be a set after this and then your set. I will ping you on Discord, but I'd appreciate it if you hung out. It would be very epic. Alright, man, Cthulhu just barely slipping past right there. Oh, that was some interesting DI. Yeah, so you gotta be ready to DI that stuff. DI's kind of tricky, so I get messing it up. But something you know, gotta be looking out for and be ready to get hit by. Something I did notice a bit of a bite is I don't think you're using hit falling very much. I noticed that last up air, you did not hit fall it. Very rarely in this game will you have aerials that you don't want to hit fall, and I don't really think there's any time, unless you're off stage at Ori, where you wouldn't want to use hit fall, right? If you're on stage, chances are hit fall is going to be your best option. I guess a more accurate way of putting it is if you're not anywhere close to the ground and you're trying to keep up a combo really high up, you don't want to hit fall, but otherwise you probably do, because grounding yourself will give you back your resources and let you keep up the combo faster. I will be paying more attention now to see if you're hit falling and if that was just kind of like a one-off thing. But yeah. Now as far as the stage pick goes, I don't think this is a terrible pick. The only thing I know about 4 stages, realistically speaking, is that platform's good, Endless Abyss very bad. This stage's lack of platforms makes it seem a little bit risky, but we'll see. Maybe Coolthulu can make it work. I think he went for the jab there and just kind of traded because Ori frame data is good. I guess we're getting a little bit hungry on those capes right now. Really trying to make them land. And once again, landing on stage with the teleport and getting punished for it. On this stage, you want to abuse the fact that you have these sticking out plats that you can land on, and Ori can't just really charge strong attack there as reliably. Okay, good little string coming in from bitofabyte. Unfortunate cape. Or unfortunate down strong, rather. Alright, here's where I can probably check, or maybe not quite. A bit of a, you're doing a good job escaping these, like, funny cape combos, I feel like. Coolthulu hasn't really gotten the chance to do anything silly on you, so the fact that you have that awareness is very nice. I respect trying to catch him with that. Alright, so yeah, I'm seeing it now. Bitofabyte, you're not hit falling. Which, hit falling is one of the most important tools, or one of the most important, like, system mechanics in this game. You've got to be hit falling these up airs, right? As I said earlier, I don't know if you just came in, so I'll repeat myself just in case. Hit falling your aerials lets you get back to the ground faster, so you can kind of keep up the pressure. You're not hit falling them, so you're trying to and just not succeeding. It does take a little bit of practice. Remember that you can buffer it, right? Yeah, it's fair. Like, if it's not something, right? Like, I know that I tend to hit fall without even really thinking about it too hard. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with Insignia, right? It's something you have to feel. Insignia, rather. It's just something you've kind of got to feel. It's just know, like, I hit an aerial, now I fall. I'd say that's probably the first thing you should be working on right now. Because hit falling is just ridiculously important for Ori. With how long a lot of Ori strings can go, you're going to be doing a lot of hit fall up air and hit fall nair. Alright, good catch with the up strong. And I think Coolthulu is just having a bit of trouble with recovery. Right now, I feel like that's his biggest weak spot. Is, there aren't really mix-ups to the way Coolthulu's recovering. It's just kind of been... Was there a mix-up somewhere? Did I do something wrong? I don't... Hold on one second. I think I may have done something wrong here. Oh, okay, I played the sets out of order. So, that was game 3. This is game 2. So, probably did spoil who won, and that's my bad, but yeah. Alright, just remember that the set count... just remember that bitofabyte does have an extra win. Then I'll give it back to him after this game. That's my bad for, running through this properly. I wonder if I skipped game 1. I'm trying to see. This doesn't feel like game 1. Actually, this might be game 1. I think I may have skipped game... I think I skipped game 1 is what happened. Let me see something real quick. Okay, that was the biggest brain thing I did right there. So I'm sorry for that. It looks like I skipped game 1. So I'm gonna go back and watch game 1 and just reset the score. Cause yeah, I think that's on me. I'm like 99% sure this is the game we skipped. I know, right? I know exactly what I did too. Which is I just saw a game from them and I was like, oh, this is probably game 1. It's on gates. That's a starter stage. So my apologies. Alright though. So getting into things right here. Alright, Coolthulu barely slipping past right there. Alright, listen, Oniroy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch me have actually missed game 2, and we're rewatching game 1 right now. Oh my god, we were totally... Okay, I'm sorry to Coolthulu. Totally messed up here. But I'm like 100%... I don't know what game we skipped. So I think I'm just gonna skip to game 4. So that's definitely my bad. Cause I can't go back. It's not like I can go back and figure out which one I watched. So heck it, we're going to game 4. Coolthulu did take a game, obviously, because we made it to game 4. So we're gonna see if we can continue on here. Coolthulu, if you find out what game I skipped and you want me to review it, or bitofabyte for that matter, I will. But there's no point in me fiddling around and trying to figure out which one I skipped past. So again, that's on me. I apologize for messing that one up. I usually don't make stupid mistakes like that, but no one's perfect. And I will say right now, I really like Coolthulu's platform movement. I'm pretty sure this was Coolthulu's counter pick. And he's making good use of it, right? I like the pick here. Because, one, Force gets good platform position to use Plat Chop and Plat Boost, and he gets small Blast Zones to kill Ori at 60. Which are both things that you want as Force in this matchup, right? You need platforms to keep up with Ori's speed, and you need to be killing Ori early, because your kill power should be a lot better than Ori, especially, or like relative to each other, because Ori being the glass cannon and all. Yeah, like the thing is, this is obviously a risky counter pick. Because Rockwall, everyone dies early in Rockwall except for like Crag and Edalus and sometimes Shovel Knight. But it can work out well. Right, like if you know how to abuse it, it's a pretty strong counter pick stage. You know, this and Endless Abyss are probably the two most counter-picky counter picks in the game, if that makes any sense. And Coolthulu still struggling a bit to recover without, right, just kind of not using smoke very much. Definitely the common tactic is to, now that, with the smoke buffs, right? Something that you want to be taking advantage of is using Neutral B, placing smoke, teleporting into the top of the smoke, and getting your double jump back. It doesn't matter whether or not you burn your double jump before anymore, because again, you get the one-time refresh. So you've got to be abusing that as best you can. Because that's one of the best things that Force's Recovery has gotten, probably in the entirety of this game. It's a massive buff. So a bit of a bite. I feel like right now, yeah, there's still, I think, two more chances at Invitation. Can I count? There should be 3 more chances at Invitational. If I can count properly. And then there are more Invitationals after that, of course, right? It's not like this is the last one. Unless Code Kang just literally, like, implodes on itself, but yeah. Oh, let's go, Amiki. Caps lock stuck. Okay, the bitofabyte. What I was saying, I feel like you're relying a little bit too much on orb right now, where you're just kind of throwing out orb and hoping it hits. I also feel like I haven't seen any particularly great uses of orb bash, so orb bash isn't particularly necessary to learn right now, so it's not too much to worry about. Either way, though, with Coolthulu's recovery issues, bitofabyte's going to be taking that set 3-1. See, I will reiterate, right, Coolthulu, if you can learn some sort of alternate methods to recover and figure out how 4s can recover without using smoke, or no, I mean rather with using smoke, and without just up being on the stage, that should be a big boon to your play, because right now that's the main issue that I feel like I'm seeing, is just you're getting kind of whacked off repeatedly, time and time again, by the same couple of tactics. Most of which are charge up strong. Or up strong. Team strong attacks are pretty nuts, so I kind of get it. As I said, I do have a little bit of... I have to go download these first. But next up, we are going to be going into Loser's Quarters with Erase Me versus Vibe Amiki. But that's probably reasonable. Worry... Let me think. If you're getting beaten by Cape... I guess the best thing to do if you're getting beaten by Cape is to basically run in and then try to, like, wave dash back. And force him to whiff Cape. And then go in with something like wave dash jab or wave dash F tilt to punish. Those would probably be... That'd probably be the best counterplay to it. But it's certainly not the, like, easiest thing in the world, right? Cape's whole point is to be able to shut down your approaches and make it so you can't run at him. So a good force is going to make it hard for you to do that. So I should have 3 more sets right now. Download. Let's see. 1... 2... I think Amiki said that something might be wrong with the scrolls in her set, actually, so I have to check that one out. And no, that's fine. We gotta... Did I already have that one? Is this the one I need? No? Oh, this is the one I need. And that's 3. So we're looking for Erase Me versus Amiki. And I'm gonna hope this one's right. So Amiki has like a bluish, dark blue burb. We'll go in with that. Alright, this is in fact game 1. I am right this time. I didn't mess up. Woo! Alright, so Raster versus Orcane. It's first in main bracket. It's an invitational invite. Dude, right in Eroy? Big capitalism energy. Let's see if Amiki can destroy capitalism. I'm rooting for her, personally. But no commentator bias here. Alright, so... the gate. Alright, that's an interesting mix-up. Good catch right there. Forward tilt up strong. The clap. So I will reiterate, my raster knowledge is pretty middling. So this is mostly going to be for me explaining Erase Me. Oh my, Erase Me, that's amazing. You become the thing you sort of destroy. Ooh, almost getting a little combo going right there. Amiki got a pretty big lead right now. One little string into a clap or something could probably spell doom for the stock. I'm getting a little spicy with the kicks. Alright. Oh wow. I mean, I think Amiki was telling me about that, down B into up B. That's a pretty interesting combo. Looks very cool. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you do know about this, Amiki, but I will reiterate because I'm not really seeing it right now. Is, right, you're just kind of approaching with a lot of, like, just dash attack. As you stated yourself, wave dash, like, right ray dashing out and in is a nice little mix-up to try to bait your opponent into doing something when you have slipstream up. Because right now, a lot of your approaches have just been dash attack and kick. Now, for Erase Me, if you want to wall that out, you can just throw drop. You should be able to just throw, actually, I can't say that for certain. But you can use bubbles, right? If Ras is going to be just approaching you on the ground, see if you can bubble him. And until he starts using sliding parry, you're going to be pretty safe on that front. Right. Like, I'm not really seeing any use of bubbles right now. And Amiki's approaching you almost exclusively on the ground. So bubbles would be doing you a lot of good. Holy crap, my voice. Okay, I think I'm okay now. Sorry about that. Talking is hard, I'll have you know. And Erase Me actually going to be coming in with a character switch, really not feeling comfortable on this matchup apparently. Gonna be jumping over to Twitch Absa. Flexing. Actually, that's kind of an interesting choice. Erase Me technically won that first game. So, not too common to see win into character switch, but yeah. If it works out, it works out. I'm making him a little spicy right there, trying to use up B as the combo ender. Alright, I do know more about Absa than Orcan. Wow, getting hit with that clap right there in a Galaxies. I'm surprised that Galaxied, honestly. Didn't really look like it would. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy, he kind of stuck a low down there. Alright. I feel like aside from Amiki not really using wave dash enough, like I'm seeing mostly solid raster things right now. Like I think the main issue is just a lot of kicks to approach. And raster kick is like whatever the move's called. It's very punishable once the opponent starts catching on. In the Absa matchup, there are probably a lot of things you could be doing to wall out those kicks. You could be using Cloud, of course. You could probably get away with F tilt, even F tilt 2, right? I mean, F tilt 1 would give you bigger reward. F tilt 2 would be safer and easier. Both those options should be walling out Amiki's kicks pretty reliably. I was hesitant to say the same thing for Puddle last game, but Bubbles definitely would have as well. Right, you gotta look out for the way they're approaching. Assuming these are both characters you want to use in tournament, you'll have to figure out ways to wall out approaches with them, because both of them get a lot out of defensive play. You don't necessarily have to play them defensively, but if you can, that's a huge boon. And character switch, not really working out for Erase Me. That was a pretty dominating game on Amiki's side. In general, Erase Me, I wasn't really seeing any good use of up special for movement, nor was I seeing any kicks, right? You basically don't have a strong combo game with Absa, which so far has been a pretty, kind of was the main issue in that game. Anytime you did get hit, you were getting punished. Like, anytime you did get a hit, rather, you weren't really getting anything off of it. So, Race, going back to the Orca, I think this makes sense. And I think the stage makes a bit of sense, too. Trying to sort of outlive the bird. Alright. Kane rolling in. So, Erase Me. How comfortable are you wave dashing, if I might ask? Since I think you are still in chat. Oh? That was weird. Amiki getting the kill with the tornado. Good to see that she has versatility in how she can go off the top. Ooh, nice little string right there. Amiki's got some... I feel like Amiki's punish game is pretty good. Her neutral has just been very, very linear so far. Which has been the main issue to the way... yeah, I think it has been the main issue. So, Erase Me, maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. But I feel like you're not using Wave Dash at all. You're using a lot of roll and just sort of raw down tilt. Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, you could always use a bit of practice no matter how good you are at it. What you really need to do, though, is, you need to figure out how to incorporate it, right? You need to get used to thinking, you know, I should be wave dashing here. So, the big note about wave dashing, for starters, for every character except Maple, it's faster than running, and of course you don't play Maple, as it seems. So, wave dashing is faster than running. Interestingly, it's slightly more committal than running. But it does kind of allow you to more easily get out stuff like down tilt with burst speed. So, learning how to properly utilize Wave Dash Down Tilt and Wave Dash Jab as your two main approach options, as opposed to Dash Attack, will generally make your approaches safer and a lot harder to deal with. Dash Attack isn't a bad approach option, it's just, it should not be your main one. Right? Alright, let him pass right there, just teleporting right to the puddle, kind of not worrying about whatever Amiki can do with that clap. Yeah, like right there, right? With the dash attack. I'm inclined to say that a wave dash down tilt would have caught that, and you could have come in with the full combo rather than just a dash attack. It's generally harder to combo off of dash attack than down tilt. Getting caught with the clap right there. Yeah, right now, I will say, I think the main thing that's lacking with your Arcane is your movement. So we're gonna see if there are any sort of improvements to it going into game 4. I can count. Yeah, I can count. And actually they switched up. Alright. As far as the stage pick goes, this is for, yeah, this is a Race Me stage pick. I actually don't really know enough about Raster to be, Raster or Arcane to be giving good advice here, to be honest. This seems like a respectable pick, though. The important thing is, like, this stage won't really let you camp as much. So, like, it can work in theory. Personally, though, I wouldn't go here as Arcane, because as the Arcane player in this matchup, I'd want to be a bit more on the defensive, so I'd probably want a little bit more space. Again, you can, I'm sure you can make it work, but I feel like this would benefit Raster a tiny bit more than Arcane, personally. And Amiki not getting the watch him right there, and homie stock. Alright, I respect it. Definitely a weird situation, but yeah. See if that, Race Me can still take the game here, then that'll be pretty respectable. And Amiki not getting the combo right there. Getting new left tilt in there. See, I think Erase Me does have the general gist of what's going on right now. Not really any use of puddle, specifically bubbles, has been one of the main issues, and the generally just stiff movement, right? Approaching with a dash attack, still. That was a weird punish from Amiki. I'm not really sure what she was thinking there, admittedly. Because I feel like normally she would just do like down B into FE, which is workable. Raw NATO is a little harder to work off of. I actually feel like that F-Strong might have been an attempt to shut down Amiki's approach, and if it was, it's actually not a bad use of it. If you meant to puddle it, then yeah, you probably should have puddled it there, and if you didn't, then, well yeah, you should have puddled it there. And there we go, finally getting the right parry punish. Alright. I feel like right there you probably could have continued that string if you went for like up air. Or even if you're using... Actually, this is another person who I think needs to be reminded about hitfalling. Because I'm not really seeing a lot of hitfall on the few nairs you are landing. Hitfall is nair. Well, again, right? Like I was saying to bitofabyte, if you can hitfall your nairs, you'll be able to get back to the ground and continue your strings faster. And that's what I was saying sort of later about, or earlier rather. What am I trying to say here? I'm sorry. Right, I was saying earlier, right, you need to kind of get more off of these hits. Because, like, just getting down tilt nair, it's not bad, but it's not ideal either. There's so much more you can get off of that. Right, you probably could have gone for something like, down tilt nair, and then, chase, or, like, tech chase Amiki with up air. And that might have killed. So, like, you did still take the game, ultimately, which is all that matters, especially with the homie stock. But it's important to keep that in mind. Amiki. I think this is a good stage pick for Amiki. I know Raster can use Endless Abyss fairly well, and bubbles at ledge aren't going to be as big of a risk for Raster as other characters, I imagine. Raster has better recovery stalling. Ooh, Amiki just barely slipping past right there. Alright, kicking. Just running into the side B right there. Now, I will say, Erase Me, again, it killed. But that's definitely an option you probably shouldn't just be throwing out. Like, again, you know, it's one of those things, it's hard to criticize it if it works. But also, that's not normally going to work, so I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Normally it just kind of leaves you open to a punish, and it erases your puddle, which is an important resource that you don't want to be losing. Okay, air up tilt. I would be using more of nair and up air to follow up, or back air, right? Back air is really good too. But nair, back air, and up air should be more combo pieces than dare. You can occasionally start stuff with dare, if they missed attack. But that's about it. You don't really want to be using dare mid-combo. It's pretty easily his worst aerial. Ooh, wow, galaxy off the top. Nice one, Amiki. It's a nice combo. Also, Amiki, are you hit falling? Again, Raster is weird, so I don't know. Alright, good frame 7. Frame 7 is very epic. And clap trading with the side B. And yeah, kind of panic teleporting right there. That feels like it was a misinput, because that's a really odd option to punish with. I feel like Erasebe's playing a little bit panicked right now. Kind of rolling a lot. Feeling the pressure of game 5 and whiffing the F-Strong. That's unfortunate. Something to keep in mind is, right, sliding down strong can actually kind of be a combo starter. It's a really weird, kind of scuffed one, but it is a combo starter nonetheless. So that's probably a better, especially at lower percents, right? Down strong or like down tilt are probably better parry punishes. Though F strong isn't awful, it's just not like the ideal one, you know? And overall, that was a pretty solid set from both players. Definitely seeing some good play. So, very nice. With all that said, we have a lot of games. I have a lot of games saved right now. Wow. Wow, wow. Let me just make sure this is game 1. This is game 1. Next up, we have CK's very own Corpsvette. I can never pronounce this tag right. I'm sorry, Cor. I think it is Corpsvette, though. Versus... No, that's not right. This is Coolthulu. So, Frostburn, Froge. So Kor is actually debuting his Rano for the very first time today. I think this is day 2 Rano, and real quick. Let me just go ping him. Alright. Okay. So, with all that said, I think it's about time we jump into this. That's on the score. So, yeah. This is Kor's, like, day 2 Rano, I'm pretty sure. So, definitely a lot of stuff for Kor to learn right now. Going once again with the character switch. And I will say, Coolthulu, I like your platform movement right now. I feel like it's definitely not, like, perfect, but it's a really good starting point. And I feel like you use platforms better than most players at this level, which is probably because me and other people have told you Forceburn likes platforms a lot. But yeah, like your wavelengths and such, they're really clean. So, good job on that. I appreciate it. I guess I respect, I don't know. Okay, not quite dropping the edge guard right there. And, alright, good job using the smoke to recover right there. Kor kind of forgetting to clear it out. And getting it that time, though. So yeah, I think, Kor, you do get the general gist, right? You need to make sure you're clearing smoke when you recover. Or rather, when you're edge guarding Force. Because smoke is a massive part, basically half of his recovery. And if you get rid of that, you get rid of a lot of the few strengths Forceburn recovery has. So make sure you're prioritizing the removal of smoke. Taunt, huh? Is this... Huh. Is this a mod or something? I don't think I've ever seen this. Unless it's like a... Maybe it's a special skin, I don't know. Anywho. What we got here? Start with the silence. I'm just trying to figure out what these two players are going for right now and see if there's anything I can catch. So Kor, I feel like you're rolling a lot right now. Right, the thing to remember is that Rana really emphasizes ground movement, and I feel like you're kind of just running at him right now. Right? Okay, good dash attack right. I mean, good up strong right there. Dash attack. I think that was just deciding up strong, but if it was a Dacus, that makes it even more epic. And oh no, Coolthulu going for the cape loops and getting quite a bit of damage off of them. I think it was like 50%. Alright, decent job sneaking past right there. Get a little bit too hard out on that, but you're still alive at the very least. Alright, still alive. Let's go. And yeah, I think that was a good dive kick. That was a really well-spaced dive kick. It's even better than I space it. So, good job on that. I feel like Core's been recovering pretty well so far, but I also am not sure if Coolthulu has really been pressuring Core's recovery enough. Let's see here. Okay, good little string. I'm not necessarily sure if that was true, but it is a good string nonetheless. And expecting him to just go around the platform right there. Okay. Punish right there. So yeah, one thing I will say, Core, is that I feel like you're using a lot of wavelands, which is pretty good. Your wavelands have been pretty clean, but your use of wave dashing hasn't really been that, like, there at all. And, ooh, awkward DI. That was definitely a good catch with the bear, though. I can kind of see how that'd be tricky to keep up with. But right, I feel like a lot of Core's sort of approaching mostly just came down to, like, dash attacks, sliding up strong, and, yeah, I mean, that was most of it, honestly. And also just kind of rolling a lot. So try to incorporate more use of wave dash jab and wave dash down tilt if you can, to sort of give yourself that boost of speed. Because run dash attack is definitely one of his better approach options. Like, it's not necessarily bad to approach with dash attack, it's just bad to, like, always approach with dash attack. Because wave dash jab is a really strong option for this character. Did I press the wrong one? I did not. They're just, Coolthulu just wanted to run back here, which I can respect. I think this is a pretty solid stage for Forest in this matchup. Alright. Good punish. That's the best punish. I think, probably could have gotten a little bit more off that, but it's definitely good. Good punish for this level. And once again, just kind of going right for the up special. That time, Core didn't really react to it properly, so it definitely worked out. Alright, I see what you're doing, Core. All of the Dacus. Or just up. Yeah, I think that is Dacus, actually. Just all of the Dacus. I can definitely see you doing this for code, I will say. I like the attempt to try to edge guard with tongue. Just gotta watch out, right? He's air dodging a lot right now, so I'd be a little bit more careful about those air dodges. But it is a good attempt. I can definitely see why you're going for it, and I feel like in a lot of situations it would be a decent option. Needles are probably a safer way to just sort of throw out a hitbox though, and like not commit super hard. And you kind of use those needles to harass Coolthulu. Okay, good job. Got it capable that time. Very nice. Not great DI right there, but it happens. Like, the occasional bit of bad DI is something I can kind of, like, be like, alright, yeah, it happens. And there you go, getting it down strong. Solid punish. Okay. I will say, right, something I know about Rhino combos is that a lot of his more reliable combos that are harder to get out of are centered more around Nair rather than jab jab down tilt. Jab jab down tilt stuff is still pretty good though. So knowing that for right now and being able to pull it off is a good starting point. And I will say too, right, you know, wave dash jab is a safe way to approach, and it's kind of what I default to. Something I know a lot of Rhinos like to do is basically use the platforms to approach. So you'll kind of waveland onto a plat and then run off of it. I see, like, you're going for a lot of these wavelands, you're trying to keep your movement, like, quick. But then when you're approaching, you're mostly just running at Coolthulu. Something that might be a little bit stronger is trying to learn how to incorporate some plat drop nair stuff. And you can start combos off of that because Rondo Nair is stumming good. weird tone right there. I kind of thought you were going to try to like edge cancel the up B for some reason, but even that would have been a silly option. Gotta be hit falling near snares. I don't know why, but for some reason I find hitfall on Rano to be harder than other characters. Because maybe just I'm bad, I don't know. But yeah, gotta make sure you're hitfalling near snares. Coolthulu a little bit slow on the punish right there, but still getting him with Cape F strong. Okay. So yeah, I think for Core, learning to incorporate... Actually, I want to see what else he can bust out the set before continuing to comment on it. So going into this game, I like the stage pick from Core. I think it makes a lot of sense. He's going for a lot of up strong, so vertical kills are going to be his forte. And Coolthulu isn't really going for that many moves that kill vertically. He's getting more kills off of F strong and Cape. Force as a whole also abuses a lot of horizontal blast zones with stuff like down strong and back air. So normally horizontal blast zones are a bit more important to be wary of in this MU. A nice little string. I just think the main issue is like I'm not really seeing hitfalls right now. Which obviously it's going to be slowing down your advantage state and your ability to pressure Coolthulu. And getting the kill at the funny percent. Let's go. Really feisty there, trying to catch him with the capes. So actually, Coolthulu, I feel like I may have mentioned this to you before last time we played. I forget. I don't even know if... But, one thing I am noticing that I've noticed from a lot of crafts at this level, which honestly makes me think it's maybe not something worth talking about, but I'll bring it up anyway, is you're not really going for combust at all, right? You're never inhaling your smoke. Which is something that you should probably try to incorporate a little bit at least. In theory, you can safely try to keep 2 smokestacks, and that way if you want to pull out a third, or as long as you don't get parried of course, if you want to pull out a third and have combust, or yes, super clam, mostly combust ready, you can do that with just inhaling one more cloud. Because you haven't really used down B at all yet so far. I think that's been a bit of a detriment to your play because it limits your kill options a little bit to just stuff into like back air and I guess your kill confirms rather, right? It limits it to back air and down air. Okay, cool. We're coming in with the Dacus. So Core, I'm not really sure what your game plan is here with these bubble recoveries. Because you're like spawning bubble and then sending it behind you. So I'm not sure if that's like a side effect of sort of lacking confidence, I guess, in your bubble recoveries or not. I'm not really sure though what it is you're going for there. Oh no, rolling into the up knife. That is true, it did catch him. I've done something like that before, but yeah, it was totally on accident. I wonder if he is actually doing that for the intentional, like I want to get caught by the bubble to survive longer. The amount of universe brain needed to do that would be insane. Okay, so far, still getting a lot of mileage off of Cape down tilt, as you should. Yeah, I got that. Oh wow, that caught him and killed him? Still looking a little rude right there. Playing some mental warfare. With Core being on his, on a loser's point game right. That's not what you call it. Jesus Christ. He's on his loser's life right now, right? So this is a dangerous situation for Core to be in. If he loses this game, of course, he's out of the tournament at 6th. Well, 5th, but you know. Core trying to make something work right now. He's pretty far behind though. It's definitely one of those situations where you've just gotta, like, keep it together. Just sort of know you can pull through. It's tough, though. And... Okay. Alright, Knife Rather gonna Galaxy once again. And there we go, Cthulhu finally starting to inhale the smoke. And... Unfortunately, Core is only at 70%, so it's not gonna be too helpful right now. Oh yeah, he expended on Super Clone to recover. That's unfortunate. Probably not something worth doing, but ah well. Alright. I like Cthulhu's cape strings. I feel like they're very makeshift, and I'm not sure how reliable they are. But they're certainly working out right now. And they can definitely be weird to avoid at times. Even if not necessarily true, they're very awkward to get hit by, so it can kind of leave you confused. And almost getting him right there, but Upkeep RNG gonna save Core and give him one more chance to make it work. Something I will actually notice, Core, I don't think you've gotten Coolthulu in a bubble once. And that's a big issue because Rano gets a lot of his damage off of bubble confirms. I'm not necessarily bubble confirms, bubble combos, right? As far as landing tongues goes, you mostly want to watch out for when he's sort of running at you, and you can be like, okay, now you can't run at me. You can sometimes use it for whiff punishing, and you can sometimes use it to punish bad recoveries. And you did go for the latter a few times, so I get that you're kind of like thinking of it. But so far you've had a hard time making it work out, so you've got to figure out how to land. I'd say personally, if you can figure out how to land more tongues and learn how to use platforms better. And also make sure you know bubble combos. I don't know if you do know bubble combos. So before you try to start incorporating that, try to pick up a couple of the simple like no stack confirms to make sure you're getting good damage off of your bubbles. But yeah. Yeah, no, you can definitely parry tongue. But the point is, right? Yeah. But I think it's right now, right? Core isn't really using tongue effectively at all. Which is a big hindrance to why, I think that's a main reason why he's having such a hard time kind of getting damage off. Because Cthulhu's never really in a situation where Core can capitalize off of him kind of being in a bad spot. So what set comes next? Alright. We're gonna have DomoNatorr versus bitofabyte up next, once I find the first game for it. Is that the first game? Let me check. Alright, that is game 1. Whew. I am very tired tonight. I don't know about you guys. I am going to get very good sleep. But for now, we have some rivals to watch. So we have Blue Ori. Or Cyan Ori, because I'm lazy. Okay. So right out the gate, bitofabyte going for something really rude, honestly. Alright, let's see what we can get here. Jab down tilt stuff. And that's a good way to edgeguard Shovel Knight as Ori. Is when Shovel Knight goes for side B, it always loses the projectiles, right? That's a big thing to remember in this matchup, is if he's approaching with that, you just toss an orb at him. And Bit seems to already kind of get that concept. It's definitely a good starting point. And let's see, does he go for it? DomoNatorr does not. So once again, Domo, I'll reiterate. Learn up air recoveries, please. They're very good. They're very good. And once you get, like, really comfortable not, no, Insignia, you're not being rude. It's okay to go over things. The one thing I will say is that at this level, trying to parry moves like that is I guess Brown Tongue isn't a great example, but most moves that aren't projectiles, you don't want to learn how to parry until you're a little bit better at the game, because parrying is really risky. And it's often a little bit more risk than it's worth. Brown Tongue specifically, I'm not so sure that's the case, but yeah. But back to the specific game. Ooh, get caught right there. The up strong. So I will say in the Ori matchup, as far as relics and gear goes, I normally like to purchase Momentum Mail and then Horn. You could also probably get away with Dynamo Mail, but Dynamo Mail isn't really something worth learning for the most part. It's a pretty niche tool that's usually just more of a gimmick than anything. You can use it though for sure. I just don't recommend it personally if you want to get good. But gear, in my opinion, is not very good in this matchup. We already kind of saw why, right? I actually don't know if we did, but Ori can bash it, so I usually don't actually bother using gear. The reason I like Horn is because Horn just kills super early. And with Ori being the second latest character in the game, abusing that early kill factor is not very difficult. You kind of just have to whack Ori, just honk Ori once off stage at like 50, and they're just dead. They're super dead. You can also use Horn to, while I'm on the topic, right, because it seems like you're only using gear right now, so I should probably explain how other relics work so you can start using them. And right now, I recommend using Horn, because Horn's worth learning right now. Unfortunate SD. But as far as Horn use goes, right, basically the main thing is, on average height platforms, you can use Horn as basically a free tech chase. So you can use Horn to tech chase people. You can use it to try to catch jumps. You can use it against linear recoveries like Setterburn if they keep just going right into you to try to spike them, because it's a radial hitbox, meaning if you hit them at the bottom, they get spiked. And something I like to do personally is I like to catch jumps with that. So if someone's kind of jumping at me a lot or trying to get above me a lot, I'll just jump up in Horn. And if they get hit, they take a bunch of damage. So all those things are options you have. There are also ways to combo into Horn. That is a little bit tricky, so if you're not really willing or ready to learn that right now, I kind of get you. But trying to learn how to use things that aren't just mobile gear will really elevate your play, because at the moment, right now, you've pretty much just been using gear, and that's definitely a very limiting thing to do. Gear is probably the most versatile thing you can buy, except for maybe Momentum Mail, but it probably is gear. I just really like Momentum Mail. Something else that I'll admit is a pretty risky option, just in general, but you can round start fish, and a lot of players at this level have a hard time punishing it. I actually fought bitofabyte last round, and he did punish me for round start fishing one time, so I know that there are players who do, but most players don't know how to punish it, nor will they go for punishing it. So I'm personally teaching everyone in CK the way of round start fish, because it is an asinine tactic, and I love it. But not only is it is a little asinine, but it's also legitimately good, right? Getting that instant 750 boost is extremely helpful. And I haven't seen Domo go for fish at all yet. Even if you don't want to round start fish, you can also fish in between stocks, or you can fish before you recover. These are all times where you can just kind of stop playing the game for a second and get the 750 gold. Which will help you get armor and relics faster. And I don't really think I need to explain why getting armor and relics faster is a good thing, right? Those are the main, aside from like Dare and Bear, there's like the key parts of Shovel Knight's kit that make him a good character. In terms of punishing fish, it's definitely a character-specific thing, but the general gist is just go down and challenge him, and it essentially becomes a 50-50 where sometimes Shovel Knight can cancel the fish and air dodge past you and punish you. Sometimes he won't do that, and he'll just sit there, and you can just whack him. Same I believe you play Forest Burn, so as Forest Burn, you can just kind of throw Clone at him if you wanted to and try to spike him with Clone. Because Forest Burn aerials are laggy. But yeah, I think Clone would be your safest bet. Alternatively, you could try to go whack him with there, but I don't think that's a very smart option for Forest specifically. Right, it's a very strong option. It can be a straw. I shouldn't necessarily say that. But yeah, and alternatively too, you can just use it as an edgeguard situation, right? You have to make sure that Shovel Knight isn't just getting back on stage for free, which admittedly is hard because Shovel Knight recovery good, but you know. So far. That's a good use of Sign right there, good little chop. I was gonna say, I feel like bitofabyte isn't using Sign too crazy much, but it's actually not true. bitofabyte's got good Sign edge guarding at the very least. Yeah, we're seeing some good Sign use right now. I think the main thing with Bit is that their combo game isn't particularly strong. A lot of the time when Bit has an opportunity for a big punish, they're kind of just squatting, like, not getting anything off of it. And there we go, DomoNatorr getting momentum out this time. I'm gonna try to see if he can, well, it happens. I jumped into that up strong too, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah. I'm gonna be honest with Signio, I forget how to make clone, how to specifically make a clone do that. But it should be easy info to find out, and it's a relatively safe and strong edge guarding tool. So if you can, oh, that's an unfortunate SD. So DomoNatorr gonna be taking game 2 to that. We're gonna be going even into game 3. So right out the gate, okay, decent little couple jabs. Definitely not a bad starting point. So, DomoNatorr, one move that I think you haven't really been using enough yet is back air. It's important to remember, right? Back air is pretty much half of Shovel Knight's neutral. It's a big hitbox that you can combo off of. There you go. I feel like you do have the general gist, but a lot of the time, you're kind of just approaching grounded. Let me think here. Ooh, that almost killed. That was a good stall there from DomoNatorr. Yeah, I like that one. Definitely seems to have a decent idea of Shovel Knight recovery mix-ups. You just haven't started using up air yet. And once you get up air down, I feel like your recovery will be really solid. Because outside of, like, anchoring on the stage, you do actually sort of seem to get... I think... Did you have double jump there? I forget. Yeah, because, like, you are not always using anchor, which is definitely pretty helpful, because anchor is not great to land with. So remember, momentum mail is right stick input. Shot macros are really helpful. So yeah. Oh, unfortunate SD. DomoNatorr waited a little too long, and again, up air boosts are very helpful. But I've already mentioned that enough, so I won't keep on about it. Okay. So after a up tilt, I think your best bet is to go for a hitfall nair, and then try to keep up the combo from there, possibly with something like a back air. Or in that situation, you could have even gone for a fair and gone for something really cheeky, but that's not easy to do, so... the one thing is that I think what's happening is you're landing a lot of these hard fairs, like early fair. I mean, early dare, I'm sorry. You're landing a lot of early dare, and then just kind of ending it there, because it's hard to combo off of hard dare. And I think that's... Wait, can you get something? Not quite. I appreciate the attempt, though. Like, it's good that you know to go for, like, back air, up air stuff. Because that's one of Shovel Knight's strongest tools overall. Like, that's probably his best way to steal stocks off the top, anyway. So, going back to Spirit Tree here. I think bitofabyte, definitely feeling something confident about the stage. I'm not necessarily sure what it is exactly. It might be just wanting to get kills with Team Up Strong, but yeah. I don't think this is a terrible stage for Ori in the matchup, but I don't think there's any real benefit to it either. As the Ori here, maybe a better pick. I feel like something with a little bit more platforms, because, right, Ori's gonna get more off of, like, plat drops and plat boosts especially than Shovel Knight. In my opinion, at least, Shovel Knight gets relatively weak use off of plat drop aerials. Just compared to most of the cast, right? So you can try to abuse that against him, and that's something you can't really do on Spirit Tree that well. Once again, just landing on with the up air and not getting any parry punish right there. Unfortunate. I think Dominator's getting a little bit hungry for those strong attacks right now, just kind of throwing them all out. Like, anytime he's getting a hit, he's just like, alright, strong attack. Which isn't a very sustainable strategy. It's something a lot of SKs fall back on as a crutch, but it's not a very sustainable one. And actually, I get to mention this again. So, Dominatorr, something I'm noticing now that I'm looking for it a bit more, is I feel like movement-wise, you're not really moving too effectively. You might have been doing it earlier and I just wasn't paying attention to it. But right now, I'm seeing very minimal use of Wave Dash. And in my opinion, Shovel Knight has a pretty good Wave Dash. You can use it, again, remember, right? Wave Dash is faster than running. So you can use it to kind of approach opponents faster. And, I hate to say it again, but up air, very helpful recovery tool. Please practice. I trust that you will. I just feel obliged to mention it when I see moments like that where you could have recovered with up air. And as far as wave dashing goes, right? I use wave dash a lot. Though, like, the way that I tend to play this character is I'll either just jump you with back air a lot, or I'll be using a mix of wave dash jab and wave dash up tilt to try to, use my disjoints to basically control space and make it so that it's hard for you to kind of play around me. And I'll do my best to shift between those two styles, and that's why I personally buy Momentum Mail first, but most SKs don't usually buy armor first. So I won't necessarily say that that's something you should be doing. If it's what you feel most comfortable doing, then yeah. But if it isn't, I get it. Not everyone feels the same way I do about armor first. But yeah, in general, right, I'm not really seeing, like, Wave Dash Jab is an extremely strong neutral tool for SK. It's probably his safest approach option overall just because jab checking. And it has probably more range than most jabs in this game, right? Possibly the second most range out of any jab. Probably not quite, but it's up there, right? So learning to abuse that will allow your ground game to be much stronger because it'll make it harder for opponents to approach you. And especially will make it harder for opponents to kind of face you head on. Because if they try to, if you're both kind of approaching each other at the same time, SK Jab will usually be winning those interactions. See, a bit of a, that's a pretty solid lead right now, actually. I mean, it's pretty much going to have to play perfectly to bring it back, and right now, kind of just pressing buttons and hoping they work. The Momentum Mail helps, but it probably won't be tanking too many hits right now, with, 169% and all. Hey, nice little string. That's good. I feel like you have the general idea of Shovel Knight's combos and such. You're just not quite there on actually executing on them. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know if you just weren't thinking this at the time, and like if you recognize it now, or if you even did go for it and just messed up. You should have DI'd hard out there and teched off the block. Normally it's something opponents will be doing to you, and it's really frustrating to leave blocks out because of that. But you definitely could have used it to your advantage right there. DI, out, so you're going down, and then tech the block, and you would have lived there. And you might have been able to take that game back, in all honesty. Either way, though, we're going into our first Game 5 of the night. Actually, no, second Game 5 of the night. Dang it. I'm not used to seeing Game 5s at this level. It's kind of surprising that we're already on our second, in my opinion, at least. Alright, so I think the stage pick makes... Well, let's see. What do I think of the stage pick? It just definitely feels like playing it safe. If I were going against an Ori, I would try to abuse the stage with small blast zones in this situation. Some Oris may want to do the same to you, in all honesty. So it's obviously a very risky pick. But because my general strategy with Ori is Mentomail so I live longer than I should, and then Horn as soon as possible after, so they die earlier than they should, right, I can really skew that and make the blast zones turn into my advantage. And that's something that you can try yourself. Again, I highly recommend learning how to use Horn before next CK, that way you have more versatility to your SK gameplay. Because gear is definitely strong, but it won't take you everywhere. And not sure why you threw yourself off stage right there, especially when you're at a disadvantage already. But okay. So another little combo trick thing you can learn with Shovel Knight is down tilt loops. So down tilt, if you basically do like down tilt, wave dash, down tilt, reacting to the DI, especially with Momentum Mail, it should be true with Momentum Mail, even on reaction. And I believe it's true without momentum on read. You can just kind of do down tilt into itself until about 60-70%. And loop percents, that's my favorite parry punish with SK, is to down tilt. If I feel comfortable, I'll loop it. If I don't feel comfortable, I'll just like jump at them and hit them with bear or something. I'm trying to like go under, and like sometimes getting parry on a platform is really uncomfortable. But I still would have tried to go for a down tilt in that situation. It's the best you got. Alternatively, down strong is, at low percents, in my opinion, the best strong to punish with, because it deals the most damage. It deals 20% uncharged as opposed to F strong 16, and I don't know the base damage for F strong, but I'm assuming it's probably 16 or 17. Maybe even less. Was that supposed to, I feel like that might have been intended to be an up strong, because that would have, if that was an up strong, you would have gotten the kill right there. And there, you almost had the read. You're getting close on these. I think you have the general idea of, like, he's gonna be on a platform, I can chase him with up strong. Definitely the earliest way you're gonna be getting kills off those situations. Just gotta get better on the execution. And good way from bitofabyte, being like, alright, yeah, he'll beat me if I run at him, so I'll just wait. I've gotten more people than I'd like to admit from just charging strong attack. So it's definitely good to see players knowing, like, even at this level, like, I gotta wait for it, you know? Hey, DomoNatorr. Ooh. Not a great anchor right there. Not a position you want to get caught in. Oh, bitofabyte running a little too far past. Alright. See, DomoNatorr managed to bring it back. Alright, good back air. Double jump was probably a little unnecessary, but still, you got the back air, that's the important thing. Try to remember to tech those, right? I'm not really seeing you tech any of these things. So, right, you're getting hit by a lot of soul charges, and then, again, you know, no teching. So learning how to tech them will be pretty helpful. Oh, that's fair. I mean, bitofabyte at low percent. Down strong at low percent is your safest parry punish, and then F strong at higher percent when you can get the kill. Because down strong would deal the most damage, and if you don't know how to do crazy Ori strings, like a top 5 Ori, to be honest, there's not much of a point in really going for the bigger strings, right, if you can't pull them off. If you can pull them off, of course, that's like a whole separate thing. But I get the feeling that if you could, you'd be going for them. Of course, if you wanted to learn like big elaborate Ori combos, getting a good punish game is never a bad thing, so I wouldn't discourage you from going for it. I just don't think it's necessarily necessary yet. Although, again, I will reiterate, I feel like the biggest weak point of your play has been your punish game. Actually, that's probably closer to what Amiki has. Right, I feel like you're not getting as much damage as you could be off of a lot of interactions. I'm trying to figure out better ways to follow up off of, you know, up air and stuff like that. Would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You should be going into combo instead of a strong attack. That is technically true. I just think it's fine to be going for a strong attack if you're not confident in a combo yet. But the sooner you can learn how to combo out of it, the better. Because remember, I asked Kusi the same thing a while ago, and he said if you don't know big crazy Ori combos, down strong is fine. But big crazy Ori combos will get you very far, right? You don't necessarily need an elaborate neutral at this level. It's really important that you have a solid punish game. Like, I feel a little bit more comfortable explaining concepts in neutral than punish game, which is why I tend to focus on explaining those things to people. But realistically, punish game is super duper important, and it's something you should be prioritizing over neutral, especially early on. Right, you realistically can do that at every level, but early on is at its most important to do that. And real quick before we start, I need to go turn my AC up because it's super hot in here. So if there's more background noise now, I'm sorry. I know it sucks. I'm just really hot. And not in... Yeah, I'm just hot, man. Okay, clearly busting out default forwards right now. And Amiki busting out the foreskin tag, as she is known for. If either of you are hanging out in chat, feel free to try to explain your thought process so I can kind of pick your brain a little bit. Foreskin, let's go. Amiki, you still have caps lock busted? Fun, let's go. So I think at this point, especially for Cthulhu, who we've already seen twice, there's going to be a lot of the same things we're going to be pointing out, which is I like his platform movement, but I think his use of smoke, and I think he doesn't not using combust enough. Right, I think it's important to learn how to use that, and I think he's not recovering well. So we're going to see if Amiki can sort of exploit those habits, or if Cthulhu can work around them a little bit. Alternatively, I will try to explain some raster matchup stuff. I'm sorry, I'm fucking around with my hoodie right now. I probably shouldn't be. That's not good. Alright, nice catch at the back air right there. He's getting very dead. Alright. Just trying to start an air combo, but not quite getting anything. Oh, cape loops. Alright, no cape loops. And Amiki, I feel like you're still going for that thing where you're approaching with, yeah, you're approaching with downbeat too much. And I think Cthulhu does kind of have the download where he knows to stop you by caping. Because cape is a big disjoint that will stop not disjointed moves like your kick. So trying to learn how to be either to be able to sit back and with punish, or in just general learn how to approach with moves like neutral air, possibly down air, possibly back air. Just stuff other than your kick, right? Because that's sort of been a big key of how you've been playing so far. Something like that, right? That was a much better approach than your kicks, in my opinion. I mean, again, you know, my opinion on Raster isn't super educated. I just know that, right? I was trying to look at a few Raster sets earlier to kind of catch myself up to speed on this character. And I know that at top level play, Raster's kick doesn't see that much use. Because, again, it's just not super easy to land. Once the opponent gets the feel for it when you're going for it, it's not too hard to stuff it out with disjoints or just go back into punish. But if you land that and take the game with it, I guess you've kind of got a point. Just a little bit. So, game 2, we're taking it to Rockwall. I appreciate Cthulhu doing this. I think it makes a lot of sense to take Raster to Rockwall and try to just be like, yeah, you're dying at 50. Raster can, of course, do the same thing to you, but that's kind of true on any stage. So, just making it double true against Raster right now is probably a good option for Force Burn. A little bit aggressive on that approach right there, but good parry. That was a nice moonwalk. Amiki, one thing I will point out, I feel like your use of Slipstream hasn't been too particularly great. Slipstream's definitely a move that I don't... Okay, got you, Amiki. What was my brain going to say? What was my brain going to say? I had something I wanted to say. Right. Yeah, I don't think your use of Slipstream is too great. Particularly in advantage, right? Something that I've seen some Rasters go for is they'll basically, if they lose their Slipstream mid-combo, they'll use, or even like right when starting a combo, they'll use it mid-combo and try to like get the opponent in a clinch state and use the speed in mid-air to keep up with them. I never really see you going for that. Most of your Slipstreams have just kind of been on the ground level, right, like that. And a lot of the time, too, you're not even really using Slipstream to help approach, because at the end of the day, you're still approaching with your kick. Which is why, again, I emphasize learning how to wave dash in the Slipstream and use that speed to your advantage will help you a ton, because so far tonight, I haven't really seen you take advantage of that in your sets. And I know you told me, like, you do utilize it, and I'm confident that you understand the concept, but I think it's important to recognize that there are a lot of times when you're not putting that concept into play, and instead you're just kind of barrel rolling, or like face rolling your opponents. That's definitely true, yeah, bracket nerfs are a big deal. But look, right there it is again, and now you're getting punished for it, because Coolthulu has gotten a better feel for when you're going to go for them. And he's throwing out hitboxes that are blocking you. Like, that was a whack-ass kick. I'm sorry, that was just weird. Getting, like, away from him. And I will say, I wouldn't say stuff like that to most people. It's just that I talk to Amiki somewhat more regularly than most other people around here, so I think I can be a little bit more mean. Amiki, can I be more mean? Do I have permission to be mean? Well, that was a nice snare combos. Good hit boss. Alright, I feel like players in this bracket have been underutilizing. You ping me with Meat Cane? Alright, never mind, I won't be mean. I feel like most players at this level don't really use hitfall well enough. That was a nice little hitfall combo right there. And like, I feel like Raster probably uses hitfall in a way that I'm not used to, so I won't combo too much on your advantage state, as if I was doing with people anyway. But yeah, with you specifically, right, I'm gonna leave it to your knowledge and your, I guess, ability to find stuff out. When it comes to figuring out how to better utilize stuff like hitfall. Right, because like your bird's probably better than mine, to be honest. My Raster is like really bad. I'm getting there though. I'm starting to understand Raster a little bit, which is pretty good. So like right there though, right? Like I would have wave dash down tilted right there instead of kicked. Just rush in, get my big slipstream wave dash, and get my slightly disjointed jump cancelable combo starter. Right, that's a lot of good things to have on one move. Especially if you can do it out of Raster slipstream giant wave dash. Nice conversion in the clap right there. I feel like you're pretty comfortable on landing your claps right now, which is good. Obviously a big part of playing Raster is knowing how to, just how to clap them, you know? Alright. So like, I will say, as far as hitfall goes, right? Some of those back airs and up airs, I think would have been better to be hitfall than just chillin'. Almost on that one, yeah. Cape loops. Oh no, that's a lot of damage to get from cape loops. That was a good slipstream. I like using it in your recovery. That's a good use of it. Right, like I feel like slip is one of the more kind of... I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. Weird. It's just a weird move, in my opinion, at least. Which is probably why I've had such a hard time understanding some of the more, I guess, nuanced ways of using it. Maybe that's the word, nuanced. It feels like a very nuanced tool. Because even though it's just, right, like it just makes you faster, but where do you want to be faster? So the ground level is not a bad place to put it, right? And again, I think a lot of the issue is just that you're not fully utilizing your slips. As far as Coolthulu's play right now goes, something that I think he should be incorporating a bit more is, I need to be doing this too, versus Raster, when you're getting hit, just spin your stick in a circle. It does feel like your DI is a little sus. You're kind of just... It looks like you're still holding in a lot on these situations. If you want to make life difficult for the bird, then legit just like circle DI, spin your stick in a circle, and Raster won't really know where you're going because you won't really know where you're going. Definitely a strong tool to utilize. And yeah, what Amiki said, don't let Raster just take you straight up. You gotta be getting out. Because you were not really getting out right there. You were just kind of stuck in the Raster vortex. So right now, Coolthulu on his tournament life right now. Did I just say right now again? I don't know. And we've got Battle for Everyone's Souls to accompany it. See if Coolthulu can start making this comeback. Not a huge comeback, but still a comeback. Alright. So far, Amiki's kinda just face rolling a little bit, as one does. Ah, he tried for it. Did not succeed for it. Okay. Oh, that was a good cape. Yeah, I like Coolthulu's use of cape so far. And once again, we're seeing good confirms into the scraw. Definitely one of the more fun parts of Amiki's play to watch. Ooh, okay. Upgate for RNG. Let's go. This isn't looking too good for Coolthulu right now. But Raster does explode. He could definitely make it work. And yeah, that getting the upgate right there was a big part of that. Ooh. Trying the ladder. Oh, wow, just barely getting with the tip of the knife right there. That was a good catch. And we're going to be going into a Game 5. Lots of Game 5s tonight. It's very close sets between these players. So, who made top 6? Coolthulu, Amiki, bitofabyte, DomoNatorr, Corpsvette, and who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one person. An Arcane player. How am I forgetting? something me? Escape me? No. Erase me. That was the other person. Yeah, Core came out with Arano today. So Core and Erase Me got 5th. This is fighting for 4th right now. And the winner of this game will go on to fight DomoNatorr for 3rd. And then bitofabyte's chillin' in Grand Finals. And right now, Amiki got a bit of a lead. Not a huge one, but a funny jab combo. Those things just work sometimes. It happens. And I like Coolthulu. That was a good use of the smoke right there. Coolthulu doesn't use it too often, but whenever he does, it's a strong option. That was a good recovery, I think, Amiki. One thing I do see a lot of rasters doing that I haven't seen you go for, that might be worth trying to get a feel for, is using neutral B to recover. And aside from that, I think your recoveries have been solid so far. It's the I guess toaster, dude. I guess, but she's a toaster. Ah, just barely not killing with the tornado right there. Let's go, Snowflake. Are you, Snowflake, are you in the Code Kang Discord? Because if not, you should be. It's very epic. Yes. Brain Machine, can I work? Alright, so, Amiki's gonna be taking that set. Very close set, though. Good stuff to Coolthulu. I think, once again, you know, learning some recovery mix-ups, and learning recovery mix-ups, and learning how to use Combust should be your big priorities right now. And if you don't watch this, I will remind you of that later, that you should be doing that, because it's important. So, we've got 2 sets left. First up, we're gonna have DomoNatorr versus Amiki. And then we're gonna have Grand Finals. Woo. So just give me a sec to download some stuff, and then we will be good to go, just straight shooting it to the end. Let me actually make sure I pasted that right, because I kind of got weird right there. Okay. Huh. That was not what I meant to do at all. Wait, no, apparently I'm just stupid. Alright, I have the games. I really hope I had my overlay up. I did have my overlay up. Zeto? Who knew I Zeto? Zetter? That would make sense, probably Zetter. Yeah. Snowflake, I would definitely recommend joining the Code Kang Discord. We have many tournaments, and they are very fun. Yeah, Zetter. That makes sense. But, you know, obviously I'm very biased, because I do a lot of things in Code Kang, so I am rooting for us. Apologies, I just need 1 second to download Grand Finals. Alright, my brain's working. We are good to go. should be able to just jump right into game 1 here for Losers Finals. Yeah. Claren's a pretty good character to learn on, I feel like. So Miki, if you don't mind, I'm probably going to be giving a lot of tips to DomoNatorr right now, because I think I've already covered most of the things I can cover for helping you, if I'm being honest. Alright. Better use of slipstreaming combos, maybe better use of hit falling, wave dashing and slipstream, stuff like that. Claren is Marth, but cooler, yeah. So DomoNatorr, this is another matchup, if you're here. I'll just be talking to you anyway, whether or not you are. This is a matchup, again, where I'd recommend using Horn. Because again, lightweight glass cannon character that will die very early if you hit with Horn in the right spot. I'm expecting to see Domo continue to go for gear, as he's been doing this entire tournament. But if you bust out the Horn, I'll be very happy, because Horn in this matchup is the most fun thing. Horn is best used versus Maple, Raster, and Ori. You can use it in other matchups, like I like it in the Zener matchup, but some might not agree with me on that one. Just whacking the shovel, man. And, so as far as edge guarding Shovel Knight, I think the important thing to catch on to is, it's hard, right? Because Shovel Knight has a lot of ways he can get back on stage, and most of them aren't easy to punish. Something you'll want to catch on to right away is to figure out what the Shovel Knight's favorite option to land on stage with. See if he's tricking him, basically forcing himself to use Anchor a lot, which is often a bad habit of SKs at this level. And if he is, you can just try to run up, especially in Slipstream, right? You can run up. I would say Slipstream in the way where it won't hit Shovel Knight with the projectile, and then run up and scrawl. Hey Nap. We're doing Losers Finals right now, and then we got Grands. There was a rat in Grands, by the way. Ooh. Alright. I think Dom took a second to figure out what DI-at was on that, but yeah. Bitofabyte is in Grand's winner's side. Got a little bit of a dare spike. Not too much off of it. And good anti-air right there. Oh, that was a good catch. U-tilt U-air, on the occasions where you can catch people with it, is very nice. One of my favorite things to go for, and just land in general, is just anything into up air. It's a very satisfying move. So, going into game 2. See what Amiki can bust out. Now, I will say, I personally think the only stage you really shouldn't take Shovel Knight to is this one. Shovel Knight really likes this stage. It's small, you can cover a lot of space with Ghost Glove and Momentum Mail really fast. In general, I just think this is a great stage for SK. And I think most would agree it's his best stage. So I'd be careful taking ones here. But we're gonna see, it's possible Amiki can win this game, already having that stock lead. DomoNatorr, once again, gotta be watching out for the situations where you need to tech. Picking up on defensive habits like that is super important. In all fairness, I can see Raster liking this stage, so it's not a terrible stage pick in Amiki. I'd just be careful, because I knew personally this would be my counter pick if I was fighting a Raster. Really just about anyone except for, like, Crag. Ooh, alright. Sneaking back on stage right there. But yeah, DomoNatorr, gotta be getting those techs, because those are very important. You were doing the same thing versus Bitofabyte, where you kept getting spiked by Soul Flare, or Soul Charge. Look, Amiki, just go to Tempest, and taunt on the side flats, right? That's the ultimate raster strat, if Jenova has taught me anything. Like, how else are you supposed to win as this character? Raster bottom 14. Alright, though. So, jumping back into things. Amiki getting a decent little string going. No point looking for it right now. Alright, trying to land with back air. I like it. Back air is just a strong tool in general, but Amiki's kind of trading with it with the F-tilt. I wonder if DomoNatorr was trying to just do straight up bear up tilt, or if he was trying to catch the air dodge. We did actually get the read. Just didn't hit with it. So Amiki going to be evening up the score on that game, proving my stage rant wrong. Good for you. I respect it. Oh god, OBS, OBS, OBS open. Alright, there we go. Ooh. Those are some very, very funny dash attacks. One of these days. And, wondering why you went for Nair in that situation. Because ultimately, if they're like that, it makes the most sense to start a juggle. And I think you were ready for the tech. But yeah, you kind of just missed it. So I'm sure you know. Gotta know how to tech that stuff. Just like I was saying to DomoNatorr. Ultimately, because with Shovel Knight, fishing isn't that good of an edgeguard tool. Unless you do like... Let's get a nice conversion. But yeah, fishing isn't that good of an edgeguard tool unless you can do like dare fish. Which just kind of straight up galaxies at like silly percents. That's a much different story than just sitting at the ledge and using fishing rod. The only time that I go for that anymore is like if I think I can catch, either if I can catch someone really far out, or if I think I can catch someone's wall jump. That's about it. And even the wall jump, like people can still sometimes tech it. Actually, usually tech it. And right there, I don't really understand why you let DomoNatorr get back for free. I think that was a situation where you definitely could have punished his landing because he just anchored onto the platform, but you just kind of sat back and forced yourself to reorient on stage. So see if you can get a little bit more aggro on these edge guards. Oh, let's take it that that was a misinput. But still a good recovery overall. And yeah, nice clap. So, I will say, even though I like Horn in this matchup specifically, this is a good gear stage if you know how to make gear control the platforms. So, Snowflake, our main Code Kang tournaments are Sundays, obviously. But we also have tournaments. We have crew tournaments on Tuesday. We have a tournament on Wednesday, and we have beginner practice tournaments on Friday. So if you want to do that, ping me, CyberHexManiac, and I will talk to you about it if you are free on Fridays. So yeah, the main tournaments though, the main like beginner tournaments are Fridays and Sundays. Our Wednesday tournament has its share like mid-level players, so that one's a bit a much higher skill cap. DomoNatorr kind of relying on the crutch of charging strong attacks. Sort of has gear for like weird reverse coverage, but yeah, you could definitely be using those situations to try to approach Amiki and roll out with Bear. Instead of just, you know, I have Big Shovel, run into Big Shovel. Which, don't get me wrong, that is the ultimate Shovel Knight energy that I strive to have. But it's obviously also not ideal to have. That was a good little string right there. I probably could have said more about that, because yeah, that was probably the best combo I've seen DomoNatorr get all night. Yeah, Snowflake, just like DM me or ping me. I guess DM me, I don't know. Whatever works, just talk to me somehow. It shouldn't be too easy, it shouldn't be too hard to find me, rather. I'm pretty active. And also, like, right at the top of the people list. I'm big brain. I swear, I know how the English language works. Alright, so right now, Dominator's got a decent lead. And I will say, I actually like this stage pick for Dominatorr. The one thing that I wish I was seeing him do, as we mentioned earlier, is fishing, right? You can use the platforms to make it a little bit more uncomfortable for people to challenge you fishing. It's not that helpful on this stage, it's really only helpful on Tempest. But it's still an option, right? It's something else that opponents have to consider when figuring out how to beat your fishing. And again, honestly, just going for the fish isn't really enough. You have to know how to get the fish most effectively, which I'll admit I personally don't. The easiest method is to just double jump neutral B, as in like the treasure magnet. But if you space yourself properly, you can like side B into the wall and grab fish. You can anchor into the fish. There are a lot of ways to line yourself up to get it without burning other resources. In general though, like even if you don't round start fish, or even if you only round start fish in certain matchups or something, some caveat to it, which you realistically should have. Fishing in general, like there are still other situations where you can go for it. Again, I mentioned fishing while recovering. Good tech, Amiki, that was good. But yeah, doing stuff like fishing while recovering helps you keep your money up and will let you actually utilize your armor. Right, and having those, being able to stack those buffs as SK will help make your game a lot stronger. I like your use of gear overall though, right? I think Kang mentioned that for a while you were having a bit of difficulty like remembering to use your items and using shop at all. So getting used out of gear is definitely a good start. But yeah, I think being able to learn how to use Horn and Momentum Mail should probably be your next step at the moment. Just because those... Momentum Mail is obviously the better armor, and gear right now is a little bit more accessible to learn than gloves because of the price changes. Although, if I'm being honest, you could probably get away with only learning gloves, even with the price change. Like, I totally do not recommend that. You shouldn't. But gloves are probably still the most solo viable relic. And wow, that was a good catch with the upstrong. Storing up, being like, alright, Amiki's not gonna do anything on that platform properly. So I'm just gonna go run up and whack. We're gonna be going to a game 5 on Endless Abyss. And bearing my dread for the last game of Losers Finals, I like it. Dude, honestly, if they replaced... Ooh, once again. Domonatorr. I said this to someone, I think it was Coolthulu earlier, but if you can learn... You have to get better with your DI. Amiki's gotten you with that, like, 2 or 3 times already. And, yeah, learning how to do stuff like circle DI, or even just, you know, just hard DI out, but mostly, especially like circle DI against Raster specifically, which is literally just like spinning your stick in a circle. Will help you a lot. And yeah, SDI out to try to get out of the tornado. I'm trying to stay out of that situation. In general though, ooh, rock clap. I'm not in a great position right now, and only 400 gold. And this is why I say you've got to be able to like fish, right? It's because you don't want to be in a situation like this where you're 2 stocks behind and you don't have nearly enough for any relic, especially with the only relic you use isn't the cheapest one. And I thought she was gonna go for it again, to be honest, but I guess the percent was probably too low and the position was too low. Decent little string. And once again, one of those times where you need to be able to go for up air recoveries. But I kind of get the feeling I made my point on that, so yeah. Might not mention it anymore, who knows. Amiki, slight delay there, but still, of course, the Scrawl going to Galaxy, which makes sense. Good set overall to both players. DomoNatorr had some really clutch moments, keeping it close, but Amiki's combo game, very strong. And she will be going into Grand Finals. So, with that all said and done, for Grand Finals, you've got bitofabyte versus Amiki. I actually want to see real quick what the custom Ori skins are, even though Ori's Chris. Wait, does Altair actually use a default Ori custom, or am I just stupid? I don't know. I don't think I want to know. But jumping into Grand Finals. See what we got here. So, Corpsvette, a pretty good starter. I like Corpsvette as a starter. And I also like starting out Grand to this music. Although I would say that about most of the songs in my music pack, I'm just really happy with this music pack in general. Ooh, good snipe. That being said, after you got that snipe, you definitely let Amiki get back for free. She landed on stage with the up B, which should be relatively easy to punish, especially with how high she went. So you have to be a little bit quicker on your reactions, I guess, of being willing to like just run in there and just... Whoop. Interesting down air to catch the dash attack right there, but hey, if it works. And yeah, as you were talking about earlier, that if you can figure out how to get bigger Ori combos off of your parry punishes, you can definitely get more damage off of Team Down Strong. What do we got here? Alright, getting the clap right there, but pretty far behind right now, 140, and yep, a whole stock down. And a fairly skewed game one right now. Oh, okay, I actually like that approach in general, trying to jab check. The problem is, you have to be a bit smarter about, I guess, what am I thinking? Like, it's safer to go for jab jab instead of jab down tilt, though I respect the option of going for jab down tilt. At that point, it's probably better to just go for the down tilt in all honesty, and just barely missing the scrawl, that's really not what you want to see in this situation. Wall that a little bit right there. Oh, missing the up strong. Yeah, I kind of see what you're going for there, but F strong probably would have done it. It's a very high percent right now. Okay, coming in with down tilt. Not a great option, but it works. So I will say that, come to think of it, I don't know how much Ori uses back air nowadays, but I feel like you haven't been getting too much use out of back air. It's obviously not as good as it used to be, it's not like crazy busted, but it's still a very strong tool. And trying to work that in, get a little bit of extra range and power on your aerials, might help from time to time. Though, like, realistically, all of Warrior's aerials are pretty good. So I don't know if I can give you the specifics on, like, what you want to be doing with each one. So if you can try to look into that a little bit, might not be a bad thing to consider. And wow, that's a very fast first stock. It's a lucky clap. What MSI laptop? I don't know. I don't really... I'm not that knowledgeable in tech, I just buy MSIs. The ones that I use are usually around $1,500, so... like, you can get a decent laptop for that price range. Getting back into the game for right now. But Amiki probably could have gotten a bit more on that punish. But... he at least does have the awareness to, like, go for these punishes, which is definitely a good starting point. I feel like she wanted, kick into... Scraw, but yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's necessarily, like, cheap. I mean, you could definitely find stuff for cheaper. I just feel like 1,500 is when they start working well. Because, yeah, I've had some kind of sus laptops. Well, $6. If you're talking about, like, not even a laptop, like just a PC, the problem is I literally can't have one. I'm about to go to college, and I've been in boarding school where I didn't have Ethernet for the past 4 years. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Although, realistically, if you can get a PC, get a PC. Alright, Amiki. I'll take what you're saying about fishing. Yeah, Brian, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that knowledgeable on, like, tech and what you should be buying. I just own laptops. That is all that I can say about my knowledge base. Hey, listen, kick up the... it's not a great wing condition, but it's gotten you this far. Ah, you waited on that parry right there. Interesting. It was a weird situation overall. And once again, coming in with the dash attack. I feel like, Amiki, you could have gotten more if you down tilted and tried to do, like, down tilt clap or something. Instead of dash attack and then just whatever you can. I don't know the specifics, but from what I understand, like, that down tilt clap seems to be one of Raster's easiest kill confirms, if not his easiest kill confirm. So try to get yourself in the habit of, like, utilizing them. The one that I currently own I didn't, but some of my earlier ones I did. I think one time at least one time, I upgraded my RAM. Now it's about it. Ooh, try to go for a dare combo right there. Nothing too fancy off of it. It depends on what you're doing, but it's not that hard. Like, basic upgrades aren't hard at all. But it's also like you have to pay for the upgrades. So I'm not sure how much money you'd even be saving if you did that. Like, I kind of agree with Sig. Like, if you can get a PC, get one. Although I understand, it doesn't sound like you can. So, like, I can totally sympathize with that. Placing laptop batteries, that's... I don't know about that one. I've never tried it. because most of the time my laptops just break full stop, so replacing the battery wouldn't do anything. Oh, Amiki, blowing the wall jump early. That is one thing that I think, Amiki, you've done a few times that's a little bit questionable, is when you're low like that, I feel like it probably makes the most sense to do like neutral B and try to gain some height or up special and gain some height, and then wall jump. Because I've seen you blow your wall jump just in the bottom a few times, and I'm pretty confident I know exactly what you did wrong. But it's something you shouldn't be doing. Alright, it is a little bit hard to get used to like not having to hold in on those situations, but again, you know, if you can look out for it, you can do better. Alright, so we're gonna see if Amiki can get the reset right now, 1 game away, and she has 2 chances to get this Grand Finals reset. So far, I think bitofabyte's getting a bit of the feel for like at least not getting hit by the down Bs, even if he's not punishing them yet. As far as punishing raster down Bs goes, it's usually just take advantage of the fact that it has a lot of end lag. Oh, you air dodged away and then drifted back into it. No, bitofabyte. No, bit. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, it happens. Good parry. I guess in that situation, parrying isn't exactly helpful, but you know, it's something. Barn, if your like laptop keeps turning off or whatever, or like keeps, I don't know, crashing on like stuff that shouldn't be crashing, probably. It depends on how much longer you'd have to wait until. I think we should have this conversation later, to be honest. Because I need to get more specific information to answer that question for you, and I don't think you'd want to be asking those questions on stream. Ooh, good clap. I think that might have actually been close to like a down tilt clap, or just was a down tilt clap. I'm not paying enough attention to that, I'm sorry. Also, Miki, I just noticed, like a few games ago, is your skin based off of Deltarune by any chance? Good clap. I mean, he got a good stock lead right now, and not a great punish from Bet. A little bit slowing. That might have been the best he could have done, but I don't know. I feel like even like jab jab F tilt might have put Amiki in a worse spot that you could have tried to like edge guard her. And with that clap, Grands is going to be resetting. Amiki, is your skin based off of Deltarune? Because it looks like the Deltarune protagonist. I noticed that when you were on, Chapel, because I had the, I had Reed Buster on, and I was like, wait a second. This is literally just Cress, but a bird. I'm not wrong. Even if that wasn't what you were going for, someone else has to see it, right? Ooh, alright. Good catch with the orb. Though I'm wondering if... Okay, there we go. I like the use of Sign for edge guarding. Definitely one of the more simple uses for Sign, or like one more common I should say, but still a strong one nonetheless. So it just colors you like, but it just so happens to look like Chris. Okay. Think. Thonk. Thonking. Well, that was an interesting kill. Stuff like that definitely happens from time to time. Ooh, can Amiki? No, nothing yet. Alright. Trying to get a kick combo started. now. Miki's struggling to close out the stock, though. And I think now we're really seeing where Amiki's game plan kind of falter. And by the way, I like the attempt for going Fortunator there, even though it didn't work out. It wasn't the right spot, but yeah. What was I gonna say? Brain machine work. Right, I feel like we're really seeing Amiki's over-reliance on kick and dash attack start to bite her a little bit. So, what was I saying, you know? There's other things you can learn that are not just kick and dash attack into stuff. So, I mean, to be fair, like, some of your kill confirms are really nice. I just feel like when you're getting kills, like, right from neutral, without anything big, you're mostly relying on parries and kick. And that forces you to fish a lot. I'm sure you do understand this, but it's important to point out and, like, you know, really hammer home your injury. There's more things you can bird than this. Ooh, alright. Good kill off the top. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of understandable because Raster does like to get his kills super early in as few neutral exchanges as possible. In terms of just not being, you know, being kind of stressed when they get that high. But you gotta keep it together. You gotta figure out what to do if they do get high and you do mess up. And bitofabyte gonna be sneaking in a kill right there. And taking game 1 of the reset. So, their positions switched again. Yeah, this is definitely a weird matchup, right? Because both characters can die super early. And, Amiki, you almost had something going there. But, yeah, that's probably hard to catch on the IN. So, either way, that seemed like it was a good set to the parry punish. So, good stuff. Yeah. Okay, ooh. Running right into Team F Strong. That's unfortunate. And Amiki getting very aggressive on her recoveries right now, which isn't necessarily bad. Problem is Bit's parrying them, right? So if you see Bit going for a lot of these parries, and thinking like, yeah, she's gonna get aggressive when she recovers, you gotta be waiting out those parries. You could try to use it as an opportunity to hit him with Scraw or a clap, but probably Scraw would be the easiest to line up in a recovery situation. Yeah, and right there we see it again. It's really got the lockdown on how Amiki likes to recover right now. Why does it say they're both in winners? They're not both in winners. Was that it? Was that it? That was a little heartbreaking. Bitofabyte one game away from taking the amateur bracket tonight. Can they do it? We're gonna find out. Alright, got very final music coming on right now. Miki gonna have to go for the reverse 3-0. And Miki, you are both winners, but you're also both in loser side. Oh, nice kill. I will say, Miki, I think I'm very behind right now on the stream, if the way you're reacting to it was saying it, so yeah. Or maybe you're just behind, I don't know. Okay. Oh, just barely missing that clap. Wrong direction. I definitely could have sealed the deal. Yeah, so Raster does generally like Endless Abyss a bit. So I'd usually ban the stage against it, but you probably, It depends. It depends on how well you can use platforms, right? Because I don't specifically know other things that Ori would like to ban more. But I feel like Raster gets more use out of Abyss than most characters. Raster, Sylvanos, and Rano especially can really abuse the lack of platforms on the stage. And yeah, gonna be taken off the top with the NATO. Amiki getting some points on the board. Okay. I think this is an okay counterpick option from Bit. The one thing I'll say about, like, Merchant is you're kind of giving... It's weird, because you're giving Raster the space to run away with Slipstream and Slipcamp. The problem is that... not the problem, the thing is that Ori is also fast. So trying to camp with Slipstream, or just run away from the opponent in general, isn't going to be very easy. So I like this pick. I think this is a solid option. There may have been better ones, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking Raster to Merchant in this situation. At least it's Ori. Some other characters, I would say yeah, but Ori is a special case, being how much he can just move. Here. Neither player really getting too much out of it right now, but managing to slip in that kill. But so far, I've been a fairly slow-paced game. Amiki up, and there we go, coming in with the kick. And nothing yet. Oh wow, I'm a little surprised that clap hit, but yeah, I guess it just wasn't expecting the raw clap to come through. Alright, decent catch on the team up strong. And I like the attempt at the follow-up. Definitely get the press advantage as hard as you can in pretty much any matchup, right? There's a couple situations on a couple characters where you don't want to press advantage, but they're few and far between. Ori is absolutely not a character you want to really be retreating with in like any situation. I mean, like, obviously you need to make sure you're pressing an advantage right. It's not good to just go in and like overextend, but yeah. But taking my advice, going for the hitfalls. Yeah. Yeah, hitfall on Ori is super important. Right, hitfall up air especially is just like such a strong tool. The faster you can learn hitfall up air is just like, good stuff. And also good stuff getting that clap and taking us to our game 5. It's the last game of the tournament. We're going to be going to Trample Pond. That's not a very climactic stage. Oh well. Rootbuster is such a weird song to be ending a tournament on. It's like one of the least climactic songs in my music pack. Criticizing you, SMH. Criticizing you for not having the music counterpick. Without even probably knowing what my music pack has. SMH in my head. And oh, that was a really good read on that roll-in. They're like galaxying super early with the team up strong. Because you want to be able to use the platforms to prevent kicks. I guess that makes sense, yeah. Right. Because if you're gonna use this stage a lot too, one thing I would recommend looking into is plat boosting, and yeah, mostly plat boosting, right? If you aren't already familiar with it, it's a fairly good tech for Ori. Basically means you can use your double jump off of a plat. Basically, use your double jump off of a plat, dropping it a ton of momentum. It's a fairly good tech, though I don't know how Ori uses it. I just know that Ori can use it fairly effectively. And if you're gonna pick stages like Rock Wall and Chapel Pond, I do recommend getting used to using that tech because it's super good on stages with platform structures like that. If you want a specific reference for it, I think the Forest Burn Homework channel has a post on plat chopping. And that's probably the best place you can go to learn it. Alright, good parry. Yeah, I think at this point you kind of figure, like, alright, Amiki's really just going in with these super unsafe attacks. And again, that's why Amiki, I'm telling you, you gotta figure out how to calm your nerves a little bit and learn how to use wave dash, jab, and wave dash down tilt and stuff in your neutral more. Because, like, down tilt and down B aren't, I mean, like, dash attack and down B aren't awful tools, but they should never really be the basis of your neutral. Like, you gotta be, they're more mix-ups, you know? And again, I get the feeling you do. I just gotta reiterate these things. Because so far, yeah, Grand Finals can be going to bitofabyte. So, congrats, Bit, for taking Amateur. I think this is your first Code Kang. So, not too shabby taking home the Golden Amateur first time around. Definitely a good way to get started. Okay, now nobody is a loser. You just wait. Man, this is the structure. Want to get rid of it now? Oh well. Oh, I hate that it does this so much. Alright, whatever. I'll fix it next time. So yeah, that's going to be all for tonight. My voice is extremely tired. And I'm very dehydrated. But I'm chilling. If you guys ever have any questions, I've been around trying to coach and help out new players in Code Kang a lot recently. So, I'm always around. You can probably ping me, and I'm down to talk or play some games. At some point or another. And, yeah. With that all said, I hope you have a pretty good night. And I'm gonna see real quick if we can raid Codecracker. Oh, no, he's done. I think I'm the only one that's left. So, yeah. I'm heading out. Good night, everyone.